20 minutes.
Hi, Craig.
We won't tell anybody that you fat fingered the answer button 83 times. We'll just say Craig took a half hour to join.
Craig took forever.
Don't worry, we'll
Hey,
cover you,
This
dog.
an hour ago,
asshole.
man.
He didn't get out of bed.
Back on this shit.
All right, so Tegan, it's your episode.
So I have to do the intro?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you can pick someone to do the intro if you want.
Oh, actually, okay. Well, I feel like I just want Adam to do it every time, but
Okay, then do it.
okay. Adam, you do the intro then.
All right, boys, we're back here with another Till I Perish podcast. This is episode Who Knows What. We got your boy Raven, Vastiku, the Vape Cop, Twitch.tv.
Dude, chill out. My grandma's
Vastiku.
watching, bro.
Yeah. Your grandma's always watching, and she's going to know that you are the god of vaping. Okay, we got Pierce, a.k.a. Ravenet.jpg, Twitch.tv/cnut.jpg. We got Tegan, Mr. Donk himself, the retard from down under, Twitch.tv/official_Wudong, and we got me, the favorite, Adam, Twitch.tv/coolkid35_cool with a K, kid with a K, 35 numbers.
Cap 2 killer.
This man said kid with a K. Like,
Let's get into it.
Cap 2 killer 35 _.
The winner of
man.
Evo 2020.
Cap 2 killer.
Cool kid with a K. Kid with a K. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So it's episode 5.
He's nuts. Got him.
Never mind. I guess. Never mind. It's episode D's nuts. All right. So getting right into it. Right. I was thinking. I'm like, it's my episode. What are some good topics? Right. We've been dropping the ball on some of these topics. I hate to break it to you, but we have.
It's because you haven't dropped your balls yet.
Well, thank you.
Your balls haven't dropped. Got him.
I don't really know how I drop my balls in particular, but
because you haven't hit puberty yet, bro.
Yeah, no, I get the joke. I just thought it was really shit. Anyway.
Well, because you haven't hit puberty
first
yet.
topic.
Get it?
Hey, actually, speaking of that, this works. Embarrassing. Anyway, second story. So, okay, wow. The first time I told a female acquaintance that I liked her, she shut me down in front of like 4 people.
And who were all their names? First, last, and address.
And their name,
Their
and
SSN.
main name, SSN. Yep. No, the girl's first name was Hope. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I,
bro, that's
I
crazy.
remember I walked up to her. I was feeling all confident, right? Until like I was 5 feet away from her. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe this like isn't the best idea. But then I ended up going through with it, right? And I'm like, hey, I just want to say, I mean, I think you're kind of cute, and I like you. You've been really, I said something really cringy, like you've been really nice to me.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad.
Did she hit you with the ew?
No. It was never that bad. I've never like, confessed to somebody and they were like, "Oh, ew! Oh, you're gross."
Ew.
No. It was she goes, "Oh, thanks. That's so nice. That's so sweet of you." And that was it. And I was like, "Oh, like that's all you got." I was like, "That's it."
Tegan pulled up in 3rd grade, and he's like, "I'm horny. You're horny. Come on."
No. And then, like, I remember I heard someone around at the time because, like, there was a bunch of people around her locker. They weren't like talking to her, but they were, obviously eavesdropping a little bit.
You chose a pretty bad time to go.
Yeah, but like, it was either now or never. Like, I knew if I didn't go that time, I was probably just not gonna do it.
You're probably just not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went up and I heard someone go, "Oh," and like that, I just walked away after that. I was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done."
They're like jumping around and they're like, "World Star!"
They're like, "Oh."
There's like a riot in the hallway.
So it's like, "Get this man a medic, dude. He's dead."
They like pull up the Gertie.
I think.
They're just like, get on.
Toss you in a coffin and wheel you away.
Someone like grabs me as I'm like dying, and they're like, "You monster! How dare you? He was just a boy."
She gets charged for manslaughter.
Oh my god. I just remember like I still felt so happy with myself because I'm like, damn, I actually did that. And then it took a while for it to set in. I'm like, oh shit, she actually just like turned me down that hard. I was like, that could have gone better, but like we're fine.
I think I had a pretty similar case. Pretty same thing as Tegan. I asked, well, Tegan, what grade were you in at the time?
Dude, this was like freshman year, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, wait. When I said first time, like confessing my feelings, I guess that was a bit of a misinterpretation or like a lie.
Well, like the first time that like had.
First time it was so public, I'll say that.
Or like the
first time I just went out in the open, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
This is like, I think it's the first time, or like the first time that I actually put any meaning behind it. Because you do the shit in like kindergarten, we're like, oh, I like you.
Damn, gonna.
Not to be an asshole, but like, I think it was like 6th grade for me. I had thought this person
cute.
Was cute for a while. Oh, it was Abby, and not the hot one, the bad one.
The bad one.
Yeah,
hey,
okay, just go doctor.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just turning like an asshole like as soon as like 8th grade hit, 7th grade hit. Mm-hmm. This is like it might have been 5th grade actually.
Are you talking about a like Catholic one?
Catholic?
I don't think she's Catholic. She might be.
Well, she's Christian. She's a woman of God, if you will.
Yeah. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
But what the heck one now?
Yep.
So this was like 5th grade. It was gym class. I'm like, hey, I kind of like you, and she was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, damn. And then I just hung out with her. And then I just like kind of like, and then I just kind of like. She was pretty cool about it. Like we still like talked and like we're like chill for a bit.
At least mine said that's sweet.
I just got the okay, and then I'm like, damn, I
just realized I have a story involving the same app.
Oh,
go for it. I have a lot of bad stories involving her after, like in high school, but like I'm not gonna. I don't want to get into like borderline slander.
Alright, so this is probably my most embarrassing one. I have 2 if that's okay. I can overshare a little bit.
I mean we could keep going. I got some.
I got another
the whole podcast.
I got some memories stirred up. Okay.
Right.
No, go ahead.
Well, the one with Abby.
Mm-hmm.
We were swimming. I think it was freshman year, and she made a joke. And I laughed at it.
Oh, I know this story. You told me this.
Yeah, I did. And then I had to tighten the strings on my my swim trunks.
Oh.
And so I pulled on them to tighten them, and then like the Velcro on them ripped open. And so everybody saw like my like my pubic hair. I don't know who actually saw, but it didn't go like all the way down, right? It was just like kind of my pubes.
Like you just whipped it out on it.
But it looks like I did because all my pubes were hanging out. So it looked like I did for sure.
And Raven has had clean shaved pubes ever since.
No, I still don't, dude. They can see that if they want to, dog.
Ever since then, I've grown the pubes to hide it.
Ever since then, I duct tape my swim trunks on.
That's what I would do.
As a tribute to that day. I never shaved my.
Is that like? Did she say anything?
She like got really wide-eyed and then she just turned around. And I'm like, yeah, that's a fair response.
Straight up could have been like a sexual assault case. You're just like, oh yeah, that's a funny joke. And then, like,
no, and that's the thing. Like it's not all that funny when you think about it from my perspective, but when you think about what she saw, she made a joke. I laughed at it and then just yanked.
Like,
over.
Oh,
Like that's
no.
hilarious. That's the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
That's like that reminds me of like in like the locker room, there's this kid named Nick who would helicopter, like run around in a helicopter in like 6th grade.
Oh
I
my
think I remember
gosh.
that.
I think you all know the Nick I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't.
probably.
Can
He
you
was
say
like
the last
really
name?
like he was like borderline retarded in like middle school and like elementary school, but then he like straightened out and got a really hot girlfriend in high school.
Can you please dox him on the podcast, please?
He dated Adia.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude!
this motherfucker was helicoptering in like 6th grade.
Dude, I wish I was
remember,
helicoptering in 6th grade. Maybe then I would have gotten a.
Maybe that-
Oh my god.
She's gonna. Turns out that she's like our #1 fan.
Yeah,
If you're watching this,
tell me if I helicopter would it have been like a dub? Like, I need to know.
would things be different between us? Is there still hope if I helicopter now?
Yeah, if I helicopter like on
Is
the
it
podcast,
transferable?
would that work? Does that work if I helicopter on the podcast? Like you just get to hear it like that? Like
That's the one video podcast that I'm helicoptering the whole time.
It's the first thing on the Patreon.
Bro, that's genius. That's genius.
Adam, you got anything?
You don't
No,
have to if you don't want to. Yeah. I mean, it's a
I
little
don't know.
embarrassing.
I don't really. It's not that. It's just I'm not embarrassed. I guess.
Dang,
I just
self-confidence.
look at it like, hey, I'm that guy who's like people are talking about. They're like, yeah, this one time I saw a guy pick up a hot dog, then drop it in the mall and eat it. I'm that guy.
Damn.
Adam's like,
oh,
I own
shit.
that.
I can do my second one if Adam doesn't have one.
All right. I got at least one more to give as well.
Yeah, I got one that
All
keeps
right.
me up at night that I'll wait to
So,
share.
so we can just do 2 each.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Well, I was trying to. This was like freshman year, I think. So I was a little bit
Horny.
horny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys
And
are
so-
so recent. Mine are all in middle school.
And that's huge. So I was talking to this girl one night, and I was trying to get it in, and I thought that things were going well, so I got a little obvious with it. And I pretty much just said I was trying to smash, like straight up.
Was this the girl you wrote the songs about?
No,
Oh.
no.
A little bit
Nice
of
try, though.
kickback to the.
Nice try.
I'm just trying to guess here, bro.
I know, I understand. That's why I said nice try, because I respect the
Oh,
effort.
okay.
But
Thank you, bro.
no, anytime, cutie.
Fuck.
But then the next day, I'm in math class, and
Oh, geez,
these
damn.
2 guys are asking me, and they're like, "Yo, like, what do you think of her?" And I was like, "Oh my god, she told them that I was trying to get it in," and that was like and like these people also, like, because I was doing like the whole music thing at this time, like these
Okay.
2 people were the ones that like just bullied me all the time. And so then once I found out that they found that out, I'm like, okay, well now it's just gonna be worse. Like it was the worst thing that could have happened to me at that time. And I was like, oh my god. So I never like for the rest of that quarter, like I was just quiet the whole time and I tried not to make too much noise because I'm like, I thought that might help it. It was really funny
it?
though. It was pretty huge. I think even if I made a lot of noise, then it would have been fine. Like I don't think it really matters. I think I just made a big deal about it when there was nothing.
Damn.
I feel like I've got like a similar thing in the sense that I made a big deal out of something that I didn't need to. So this is like shit. I wish we had Jake on here because Jake was here for this one.
What, you ripped open your swim trunks in gym class?
Yeah, check your
No,
feet.
no, 7th grade, I got like really butthurt about
You showed your butt to everybody.
yeah. No, I guess like, butthurt
He got
about-
anally raped. He was like, I don't know why I made a big deal about
This
it.
hurt, dude. Like,
It only hurt a little, dude. It was like for like 40 minutes. It's not that bad, dude. Grow the fuck up. No, but
okay, here we go.
I got really like pissy about why certain things were really popular and certain things weren't. So I
Okay.
decided to be an asshole and someone I wasn't a big fan of at the time. Okay, I should preface this. This is in government in 7th grade.
Oh,
We do like
okay.
mock government, right?
Yep. I remember.
And someone I wasn't a big fan of at the time was like our speaker, and I'm like, all right, can we try to get? I basically tried to get her out of there and get someone else in because I was just pissy and petty.
Damn.
Yeah, and I like think back on that a lot, and I'm like, that's like the one that comes back to me. I'm like, dude, that's so fucking petty.
So it wasn't necessarily like a specific that you're trying to do. It was just like you really didn't like somebody, so you just tried to kick them out of a
It wasn't
mock.
I didn't like her that much. It was more so I was just like mad that like she legit just got voted in, not because she was good at the job, just because everyone liked her.
I mean, that's like high school in general.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why like I was like pissy about it. And then like I like look back and I'm like, dude, you need to just shut the fuck up. And like I thought it was really fucking stupid. Like 2 days after I did it.
Pierce is listening to King Glizzard and Pentakill, and he's like, I wonder why nobody likes me.
No, at the time I was listening to like. I think I was listening to like Hatsune Miku and like.
That's okay, even better.
Huge, right? Yeah, that's huge. And then I think I was listening to like that and like Pierce the Veil.
You're a basement dweller who doesn't go to the blacklight dance because your socks are gonna glow.
Yeah.
You're like, why doesn't anyone like me? Don't worry, Pierce. I liked you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we hit it off in like we started talking a lot in 5th grade, but then
we started fucking.
Yeah,
and,
you want to
like,
have sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's where this was going. You're like, yeah, we
Bro,
hit it off. We
wish.
started having sex in like yesterday. Okay. So my like big story, because I have like a lot of little ones. I don't know if you guys remember this, but if you ever had a class with me, I talked out in class a lot.
Yeah.
Mainly
like
just
how
because
old, like what grade?
ever since like I got to Sartell in 3rd grade.
And then when did it? Because I don't think I had.
What?
I don't think I had a class with you until like high school, dude.
Probably not. No, but
That's
Adam
when he
knows it
stopped
a
acting
lot.
out.
Adam knows it a lot. I used to act out a lot to the point where I had to switch chairs to a stool because I would lean back in my chair so much and I would fall off my chair and like ruin desks and shit that they just put me on a stool with one leg, so I had to balance, otherwise I'd fall over. And
And
so
then you
this is
just kept
getting a little
falling
bit off
over and
topic.
breaking more
No.
desks.
But the thing is,
I
like,
just backfired.
people thought it was mainly, or it was like more cool than anything.
Yep.
They're like, dude, this guy's got a stool.
Right, like when
That's
Sam.
fucking awesome.
I almost just doxed him, but when Sam did the air chair all the time,
Yeah,
and he kept on falling over, and everyone just thought he was funny.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No. Okay. So that gets away from my story though.
We talking Sam that dies when you get peanuts close to him, or which Sam?
Swag.
The one with the dreads, the cornrows.
Okay. Yeah.
Big man Sam. But anyway, this is embarrassing in retrospect, right? Because at the time I was like, whew, dodged a bullet. Not to offend the person. But we all know the Savannah of our current generation.
Oh my god.
So way back in like 8th grade, maybe, might have been earlier than that. One of her friends at the time had walked up to me for some reason. And this was when I was okay, no, it must have been 7th grade because I was still getting over the Melissa thing. And that era, my emo era, if you want to call it.
The leather jacket.
Yep, the emo era. Yep.
You
I was
still
getting over that stuff. I'm still in an emo. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But one of Savannah's friends had walked up to me for one reason. I never really talked to them, and they were like, "Hey, my friend Savannah has a crush on you." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And
that's how you lost your virginity.
I kind of thought she was gonna be more like Melissa, like because she wasn't really popular at the time or anything, or I didn't really know of her, so I was like, "Oh, that's nice, but I'm not really into that at the moment. So thank you." And I remember watching her friends walk back over to her, and she had like a kind of disappointed look on her face. And then I didn't talk to her up until like freshman year.
Oh no!
When she started to get the glow up happening and stuff, and I was like, ever since then, I was like, oh my god, I just like, I could have had it all. I could have been at the top, and I just.
Tegan's over here listening to Fallen Kingdom because you were late so
Yeah,
hard.
exactly. So it's embarrassing in retrospect that I made such a dumb decision based on like the moment. But yeah, no, it really is sad.
One time.
Sorry to interrupt, but I like how this started off as like most embarrassing moments, And
Yeah,
now
just
it's
getting
just like
turned
that's
on
kind of talking trash on everyone.
Yeah. I said no offense. That makes it all clear, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it all good.
Like
yeah.
when Hitler said no offense and then didn't get convicted of any war crimes.
Oh yeah, true.
And he killed himself before he could.
No, he didn't. He said no offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
he's
told
in
people that he
Argentina.
didn't kill
The
himself.
bullet
That he
had no
killed
offense
himself.
written on it.
No, but yeah. So that's the embarrassment in retrospect because I fucked up. But
What do you got, Adam?
yeah, no, there's a bunch of random ones.
I was just gonna say one time some girls walked up to me and said, "Yeah, this person likes you," and I was like, "Cool." And then they're like, "Do you like her?" And I was like, "Eh."
No, that sounds like an Adam response. Just
That is such
no.
an Adam response.
Oh,
Who
man.
was it? Who was it?
It was in 5th grade. It was the girl in question was Eden.
Oh, okay.
That's big.
Damn.
That's huge.
I always had a fear. Nobody ever said that anyone liked me, tragically. But I always had a fear that somebody would, and then they'd be like, "Oh, do you like her?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And then they'd go tell her and be like, "Oh my God, Raven has a crush
It's a
on you
prank.
now."
It's a prank.
And
Oh
then
my
like,
God.
it would just be like
Yeah,
this
it's like a
massive
joke.
prank. But then I'm like, "Bro, we're in
Dude.
5th grade. No one's thinking that far ahead."
No one has that big
I
of
think
a
I had
brain.
a girl say they liked me once, and it wasn't even her. It was like the whole like she got a friend to do it thing.
Yeah.
It was in like 4th grade, and I said no because I already had like I was like
Oh shit.
I had I had a crush on someone else, and then I'm like,
He had a
but then
crush
like
on you.
2 weeks after she asked me, I'm like, no, I don't. What am I doing?
Like, wait a second, I have a crush on her. She was the girl that I had a crush on.
Yeah, I'm like, now I like her shit, and I'm like, I can't say I can't. I feel like an asshole to like go back and be like, oh, I actually do like you now.
Oh damn.
And she like didn't say anything to me until like a week before summer, and then I didn't have a class with her in middle school, so then it was just like, oh, well, I
That's
guess.
actually so sad. Kind of going on what Raven said real quick. That actually happened to me a lot. The joke one, where it's like, oh, this person has a crush on you, and I'm like, oh yeah, they kind of cute, and then they go back and it was like a big prank. And I used to get like worried about it. Like the first time it happened, I'm like, oh my God, no, they didn't actually have a crush on me, no. And I'd be like that, and I would like stress about it for the whole day, and then not even like 2 days later, everyone would forget it. So
Yeah,
I just started getting like hella confident when that type of shit happened. They could be like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "Oh, this person might have a crush on you. They might like you," and I'm like, "Damn, she kind of sexy." And then they'd be like, "Oh," and then they'd like giggle and they'd run back and tell them, and then I'd just kind of like stare at them, and then they just wouldn't remember that it happened like the next day or like the next week, and I was just like, "Okay, well." I
And
guess
then
I
you're
can shit around with people.
and then you're sitting in your room with the troll face on, like XDDDDD.
Yeah, basically. Most of my other
2012.
minor embarrassments are just I like to test jokes, as you guys may know,
mm-hmm.
and they're not all funny, of course. I'd
In
say
fact,
it's
some
actually,
may even say most of them are not funny.
that's what I'm saying. I say a lot of them, so I was gonna say it's probably close to like a 40-60 or even 30-70. And
It's
a
a
I'm
lot
getting
of-
a 30-80.
pretty bad matchup for you.
yeah, a lot of the testing like started in school, and I would just like say it randomly when there was like a quiet time when no one was actually talking. And those are like most of my embarrassments is I would say a joke that I was like, oh, maybe people are gonna laugh at this, and just dead silence.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't remember a lot of
start
those though,
laughing
but I
at
definitely
me
got
for
that.
making a shit joke. So I'm like, okay, it was kind of worth it then, I guess. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
Like back to what Raven and Tegan were talking about the whole like a girl like saying they like you and then like running off and like not saying shit.
Yeah.
After because you guys told me about this like fucking like 8 years after the fact. More like 6 years. But like that one girl that you said had a crush on me in middle school, I'm convinced that's that. I'm convinced that's not legit.
Really?
I don't think so because I heard about it for like a year straight, bro. I feel like that's a very
can't
like,
believe people,
dude, okay, but here's the thing:
like,
that's a
such common
crazy prank.
knowledge.
That's a crazy prank to hear from a bunch of 6th graders, bro.
Yeah,
Like, do you know how convoluted and insane of a prank that is? That they told her that this girl was into you for a year, and everybody knew it except you, and they're like, "This is gonna be genius." They're like, "Just wait a year,
I
and
think
then
the
we'll
most
tell them."
Just wait 6 years from now. He's gonna be on a podcast and he's gonna be talking about it.
This is the plan. They're actually geniuses. They knew this was gonna happen.
Did
It's
everybody here know about this but me?
I did. I wasn't really in the loop. On,
I know about it.
crush circles. You know.
I know Jacob knew about it.
Jacob knew about it. Adam, you probably know about it.
Jacob knows.
I've at least heard about it.
Yeah.
What I've figured out is anything that happens ever, it goes through Jacob first. He's like the hall monitor of everything.
No, it doesn't go through him. He gets it like secondhand.
Oh yeah, he's just like a stalker. He just hears people's conversations.
But anyway,
I feel bad.
I think it's like so crazy that like this was such a widespread rumor that I just never heard of.
Yeah,
And I
because you're
had
the
like
one who.
classes with her too.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. My theory was always that they didn't want to tell you. Like she didn't want to tell you, and so everyone out of their kindness, none of them ever told you. Because in middle school, she was nice.
Yeah.
So like there was no reason for people to be like, "Oh, we're gonna go tell them," you know. So I think that's my theory is that she didn't want to tell you, and so nobody did out of to return the favor of her being nice to them.
That makes sense.
Were you guys nice to most of the people that interacted with you? Was anyone here just like a dick to certain people?
I tried to be
yeah.
nice to me.
Oh, well,
I was
I
like,
just didn't talk to people.
there was like one or two kids that I was like an asshole to, but it was like when I was in like not middle school, like elementary school and younger.
oh, and senior year, of course. But
Yeah, no, I was an asshole like 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah.
In high school, I just started being an asshole to people I didn't like.
Well, for me, it was just like I had a limited friend pool,
Mhm.
and so the only time I was not nice to people was when they were not nice to me.
Yeah.
Me having like the two friends that I had at the time couldn't afford to lose any just by being petty. So,
I'm trying to think of like someone I was like a really big asshole to.
but now look at me. I got 4 friends now.
Hell yeah.
Craig.
Craig, my boy.
In like
Craig, you wanna
third
come over for
grade,
drinks?
in 3rd grade, I remember I made fun of a kid, the kid that got ran over.
Oh,
Oh,
I made fun of him for getting ran over. And
oh my god.
me and who was it? I think it was Alex. Like I think it was me and Alex did it.
Made fun of a kid for getting run over.
And he was like actually retarded at the time.
Because he had brain damage.
He got run over.
He wore like you know like
He
the
wore
helmet.
Like that bike outfit.
Fresh.
I'm in like 3rd grade.
You had a
I'm in 3rd grade.
concussion.
My friends at the time are Alex and Josh.
Dude, I remember I was really mad because he got to bring Hot Wheels into class and I couldn't.
Yeah, like
Like that kid had it too good. He deserved to be taken down a level.
What?
I remember the teacher had to come out and explain to me, like because I also made fun of him for I said I thought it was like his head was like shaped funny, and the teacher's like, 'cause obviously it is. He got fucking run over, and then the teacher's like, "Hey, it's not his fault he got run over." And I'm like, and I remember saying, "Well, he shouldn't have been under the car." And then the teacher got really mad at me.
Well, you're right.
I thought this was gonna be like, oh yeah, I did let some kid sit at my lunch table because he was like weird or something. You just like, people with, like actual disabilities that you're getting run over by a cop.
No,
Holy
I don't think it was like. I think that was like the only. That's like the only time I can remember being like a real big asshole to someone.
Chris is like in 2nd grade, we actually brought a kid into the woods and murdered. He's like, yeah, I was kind of mean to people in elementary school.
3rd grade, as Tegan was talking about how he got put in the back of the class. I think I don't know if I've talked about this on the. I know I haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I've talked about it with you guys before. I used to go to Catholic school, as you all know. In like 3rd grade, my teacher really fucking didn't like me. So what she did is like, so I was like had like really bad ADHD and was like unmedicated for it. So I was like eating erasers, like fucking screaming in class, doing retard shit,
Yelling the N-word.
Yeah, like real retard hours. The teacher got so fed up with me. What she did is she just put me in the way back of the class, and this is like,
Quiet.
how do I describe how far back I was? Because it was like, this isn't like one of the like, okay, so take the normal classroom, but put the whiteboard at the side, so it's set up the long way.
Oh, okay.
And like if they have there was like a separate back table at the back where they would put like supplies or some shit. I sat there.
Oh, well.
And then what she would do is she would just tell me to fuck off for the whole day, and then at the end she would just give me all my assignments and wouldn't teach me how to do it.
Well, you kind of set yourself up for that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I went to church school as well. The first like 3 years of schooling, or 4 if you count preschool. But
Yeah, I didn't. I went to preschool because I lived in Iowa at the time. I went to preschool for like half a year, and then we moved.
so you just never got full education.
Nah, dude, I turned out terrible, as you can tell.
You were like, please don't eat erasers or crayons. That was like the second half.
And I didn't pay attention to those.
You didn't get that.
I didn't. That one went right over my head.
Actually, as weird as it may sound, I think me going to a church school actually made me more corrupt. I learned what sexy was in like kindergarten.
Yeah, now you know what raping little boys is.
Okay.
It's in your
I
blood.
didn't go to a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic school.
That was a joke, bro. Everyone chill out.
Wait, I called a girl sexy in first grade, and I got in a lot of trouble for it for some reason.
I remember a big thing at the Catholic school, and like first and second grade was putting up your middle finger was swearing was like offensive to God. And I asked my dad because I'm like, that's bullshit, right? And my dad's like, yeah, that's bullshit. So I just started doing it around the school because I thought it was funny. And then the teacher's like, you can't do that, and I just like would flick them off.
Something similar actually happened to me. I'm not.
The teacher would put a thumb in your butthole if you flicked
So they had to
off.
like call my dad, and my dad's like, he's like, that's not offensive to God, but it's offensive to people. You shouldn't do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Clearly that worked out great. Love you, Dad.
I remember I did something similar like that for a little bit, and then someone taught me that which I think is just bullshit now, if we're using the same terminology here, but that if you stick up your pinky finger and your pinky finger alone, it's like the same thing as flicking somebody off in like a different culture.
In Chinese.
Chinese. Yeah, and I remember I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Well, everybody did.
I'm gonna get
everybody did.
Yeah, but I did this at like a church school, right? And then I remember I just started telling everybody because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I'm like,
you were so excited.
I'm flicking you off in a different
I was so hyped to flick people off in Chinese.
And then everyone thought I was like the coolest for like a good 2 weeks because none of the adults had caught on yet. And then for some reason, I told one of the adults what it was, and I got in real big trouble because they're like, "Oh, so you're just like flicking people off, but in a different language." And I was like, yeah. And they're like, "Go to the principal," and I'm like,
Jesus
"Oh,
Christ.
okay, wait a second, no." And then I went to the principal, and then I actually flicked her off.
And you're like, bro, I thought
Let's
we were
go.
cool, dog.
I was like, yeah, if I can't do it with my pinky, I'll just do it for real. And then, and I got in real big trouble for that. But
you know what I just noticed? Each of the principals in so after we left the middle school, the principal changed, and after we left the high school, the principal changed.
Yeah, you know what else happened? After we left the middle school, they got better iPads, and after we left the high school, they got better Macs.
No, the new Macs suck, Reese says.
Yeah, but Reese is also a woman.
Okay, they're better, but they made them worse. But they're better. They're better pieces of technology.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like the iPads are probably worse. Yeah.
Well, and remember after we left 5th grade, they gave 5th graders iPads too.
Yep. Well, that was after we left 6th grade, wasn't it? I thought the 5th grade one was a little.
It was after
worse.
6th grade, yeah, because we didn't get iPads mass implemented until 6th grade.
Okay.
Because we had like the iPads you would like check out in certain classes.
Yeah.
You chuck out, just like I don't need this anymore.
Mr. D Word's math class, baby, advanced math.
Oh my god.
Do you guys remember the talk? Like the day where it was everyone got the talk?
Yeah,
and you had to talk to me about pubic hair, bro. That was so weird.
Yeah,
and Raven were in the same talk room.
I remember.
Me too.
And then they gave us ice cream after. Like it was so traumatic that we needed ice cream to like clear it from our brains. That was crazy, bro.
I don't know why, but like going obviously after I was like that wasn't bad at all, but before I was like, dude, this is just gonna be so gross. I don't want to talk about it.
I was so nervous.
And I remember vividly it landed on December 12th, 2012, and I was like, I hope to God the world ends like the Mayan so I don't have to do this shit. Or December 21st, whatever one it is. It's what it
was the 21st. I do remember that. That was the same day the lights like flickered in the hallway, and I remember I made a joke and like some kids were like screaming, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. go. I said the world was ending, and like some girl like screamed. I was an asshole.
I remember I never had Mr. D for any class, and then the first time I interacted with him, he's like, "So, have any of you had wet dreams yet?" And I was
Okay, hold up. We need to come up with another name for this guy because I don't like calling him Mr. D and then talking about how he had to talk with us.
No,
I
it's so
like
funny
that.
if we keep doing it.
what about Daryl?
Daryl.
Daryl.
So I really like Daryl. Daryl was a really dope teacher. I
had
just
Daryl
hated
after the talk. That was it. That was the one time I had it was the talk.
He was really dope until until
Until
like we
he
had
had
to do like online shit, like the half online shit. I hated that.
What?
Yeah,
Like the like hybrid
the
learning
flipped
shit.
classroom
Yeah.
I don't
where
know
you
shit.
watched the lectures on your own time
No.
at home. Then you went
Yep.
to class.
And then he just went over the homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
God,
gave you
that was
more
so bad.
homework. Bro, that sucked.
I don't remember if you guys. Sorry, I just want to go back quick to the talk thing. I don't know if you guys had this in your groups because I don't think we were all in the same group. If I'm not,
I was in the room with Raven and Adam, I think, right?
Yeah.
I just remember I was in there with Alex, not I'll say short Alex, the one that stopped going to our.
Oh, the retarded one.
The one that got beat up
Yeah.
immediately after he transferred.
Yep.
Wait,
And
which one is this? I don't know this, Alex.
A short, annoying kid.
short, annoying, hung out with me
He had the
during my.
Tegan cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
What?
immediately after he transferred
His name was
schools,
Avery.
he got beat to the point of going to the ER.
It said he had the Tegan cut, and Pierce is like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Was that? I
Thanks.
thought the kid was named Avery, or is that a different kid?
You're thinking of a different kid.
Okay, then tell me later. I'll just listen.
Avery was
Yeah.
pretty much the same guy though.
The same guy, different kids, same, but still the same.
If I'm not mistaken, this kid was a year older than everybody in our grade.
I think
Yeah,
he
'cause he
was.
was
I think he
retarded.
was.
That's not
I
surprising.
remember he was so like condescending in how he talked about it, but he's
Hold
like,
up, but so
"Yeah,
is
I've been
G
with
Banger. G Banger's a year older
Oh
too.
wait, I just got which Alex
but-
it was. Shut up.
but G Banger was never like he was pretty shy.
He sounded kind of embarrassed about it every time he talked about
That's
it.
what I'm saying. But Alex was so just into bragging about it. He's like, "Yeah, no, I've had my first wet dream like a year ago, dude. Like, whatever, whatever." And
Which was
I
just
didn't want to
BS,
sound
man.
like I didn't want to sound like weird, so I was like, "Oh, me too. Yeah, 100. I'm not even joking. No cap."
Tegan said no cap 10 years before it was cool, bro.
And yeah, no, it was just really awkward because I remember. Did you guys have it where you had to like walk up with the card? I don't
Yeah,
remember what was on the card.
Yeah.
With the
It was some-
questions. It was the
Yeah,
question.
question.
Hmm.
And he made it known to everybody there what his question was. I don't remember what it was.
No,
But
hold
it
up.
was supposed to be like anonymous.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, this is my question, everybody. So don't write it down. I'll like, don't worry, they'll just go over it." And I was like, "Dude,
Funny.
Well, I remember in lunch that day, he was talking about like he was like, "Well, I already had my wet dream, so why do I even have to do this?"
Yeah, baby.
Motherfucker doesn't realize he's getting out of class for this.
Exactly.
Well, he just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
He was smoking weed before. It was cool, man. He just wanted to go home in like 5th or 4th
He
grade.
was like, "Yeah, I did crystal meth."
And he's like, "Yeah,
He's like, "I don't mean to flex or anything, but I'm a crack addict. My teeth are rotting and falling out."
I mean, did he like leave his? Didn't he like run away from home?
I don't think so.
Or am I thinking of the Alex who has a brother?
Oh, that's brother Alex.
Yeah.
like like a brother in like the church. Like, hello, brother Alex.
Ah, brother Alex, the one with the brother."
It's Bioshock.
Okay. So I just realized we talked about that forever.
We're gonna get through 2 of Tegan's like 5 topics.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
we don't have to get through them all. So the next ones I have are they're like gamer related. If you want to go through those or not.
Stop! You're gonna make me come.
Okay, then yeah, we're gonna go through. Okay, so recently,
Oh.
I'm
Sorry, I
Hold
tried to
up.
warn you.
Sorry, I was coming.
No, I just came.
You're like, I think someone's breaking into my house.
That would be really fun. Like gunshots just start going off.
Hold up, bam, bam. Like,
No.
he's dead. No,
I'm like 1 second, then you hear the shots, and then I come back and a couple of things. Like, sorry about that. My cat got out.
Okay. So recently, one of my old friends, you guys know him. It's Tyson. He sent me a picture randomly for the first time in like a year
Of his 10 billion Valorant kills.
Yeah, of him in a Valorant game, right? And he recently, like earlier today, he asked me to if I wanted to play with him, and I was like, yeah, whatever, sure, why not? I don't really play the game anymore, but I guess I'd be down. And that got me thinking, like, dude, Valorant kind of died.
I saw
And
news
that's, like,
yesterday
the
about a
topic,
Valorant Pro scene, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, but I just feel like the pro scene would have emerged by now, right? Like, it can't take that long.
I think
How
if
long did
you
it take for Overwatch to get set up? I don't know.
It was like season 2.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
I don't think.
I think if we're talking about Overwatch or not Overwatch, Valorant dying, we're talking about it in the same way as like CS:GO died. Where it's definitely still got a good sized player base and people will still watch it and people will still like compete in it and it's still a big game. It's just not the big game anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it and I'm like, when is the last time I went on like Twitch or like the YouTube like recommended or whatever and I saw Valorant like pop up and I was like, dude, it's been at least a couple months.
For me, it's different because I do watch Valorant content. So.
Like,
Valorant Champions Tour 2020.
But it's like XQC doesn't really play the game anymore. A
Yeah, who
lot of the
cares?
league people stopped playing the game, like the popular league streamers that went over to try it out.
Yep.
Even Shroud doesn't play the game anymore, and I don't even know if Summit does either. But I was just thinking, I'm like, it kind of fell off pretty hard, and I think it actually relates to just that nobody likes the maps. But that's a different topic, I guess.
They announced the Valorant Champions Tour 5 days ago.
Really? Okay. So I guess it's not.
I kind of think a big part of it too is like, so a big part of especially like FPS tournaments is like LAN events, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying online events aren't great because that's all we have right now, but like
roles.
I'm guessing that probably isn't helping. Okay, so this is a whole year thing. So the open online qualifiers for Valorant start in February. They're kind of like LCS split, so to say. Is March to April, and then it looks like they'll have like another 2 open online qualifiers, followed by like a split or like a tournament or something. And then October they'll have a last chance qualifier, and then December and November they'll have their edition of Worlds. So to say.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. I'll say
format. Okay.
I think Valorant's probably going to come back when stuff does start opening up again.
It's by Riot too, so like Riot has so much money to throw at their pro scene.
I mean, you say that, but TFT, I would consider TFT dying.
Well, TFT didn't really have like the pro scene though.
Actually, they did have tournaments for it, but it definitely was popular at one point, at least in like the league community-ish, because like everybody swapped over for at least a good month and a half or 2 months.
I think the thing with TFT is like TFT has a very dedicated player base. Like the people that play TFT, they love TFT. And I don't know, I feel like maybe that
as dedicated.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because people just want to play CS:GO.
Yeah, Valorant was a lot more of like, because it's like if you're into like TFT and then also Legends of Runeterra probably to like a lesser extent. Those games I feel like have very dedicated fan bases, right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Valorant is like you're appealing more so to the FPS player than the Riot Games player, if that's a thing.
Well, I think that's why Valorant probably has a higher chance, in my opinion, of doing its own thing. Because, like, looking at it, Valorant is just better CS, pretty much, right?
It reaches a broader audience than CS. At the
Yeah,
very
but
least.
like CS also just bad. But when you make a game based off of league-like teamfight tactics, and I think that this is going to happen with the fighting game too. When you make a game based off of League, you're only really scooping up the League players. So I don't think TFT really had any chance to really do anything because they're only scooping up the League players, which I know it's like, oh, the biggest game in the world, but
I feel
not
like they have a lot
every
of auto
League
chess
player is
players.
going to be.
The auto chess player pool isn't exactly that big, to be fair.
Yeah,
Right, but like I feel like if you're already an auto chess player, you're not going to be like, oh, let's all switch over to TFT. Like you're just going to keep doing whatever you do.
TFT was the big one. It's like the same thing with like Valorant. When Valorant first came out, every FPS player switched over to Valorant because it's like it's Riot Games. They're probably going to support it.
No, but the thing about TFT that is like weird to me is it got so popular and it wasn't even the first in the like series of auto chess. That was Dota Legend or Dota Underlords.
Yep.
That did it first, and I mean that got like a little bit popular, but
I also think, from what I've heard, is Riot did a lot better.
Maybe I
haven't played either game, so I can't say. But from what I've heard,
my friend.
I'd have to talk to Logan. Logan's the only person I know that has played both games.
What I understand about Legends of Runeterra, it's really low player base because I think most card game players consider Hearthstone to just be better.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say too, after you dump how much money into Hearthstone, you're not really trying to restart on another card game.
Yeah, no, I don't think
one that releases
the card game's a cool idea. I like that they went for it, but I actually think the fighting game is gonna be huge. I don't think it's gonna be as big as like Valorant or League, but like I think the fighting game is gonna be really big for people.
I don't think it's gonna be the biggest fighting game.
Yeah, because it's like
it kind of depends when they release it. Honestly,
that could be. Yeah,
if they release it before Injustice 2 comes out, I think it has a chance to.
Injustice 3.
I think the thing about well, it is out. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100 with you. It doesn't matter what NetherRealm game is out at the time because NetherRealm games really only last for like a year. If I'm being real with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying is if they release it before Injustice 3, everyone's pretty much done with MK11. Like right? Like
yeah.
Whenever a new character comes out, you know, all the people hop back on it, but like there's only so much that people want to still play the game.
I legit think if they dropped it like right now, it would do so well because Street Fighter 5 is in a really bad spot right now. Not like a bad spot, but like Street Fighter 5, not many people are like if you're playing Street Fighter 5, you're playing it because you don't want to play Tekken, basically. Like
that's what I'm saying. I think if they release it sometime between now and Injustice 3, they could do pretty well. Probably not for the long run, right? Because I'm guaranteeing as soon as Injustice 3 comes out, any like non-platform fighter player is just gonna go to that.
It's like the thing with NetherRealm games, Tegan, is like the people that play NetherRealm games are just people that play NetherRealm games. Like there's very little cross player base between like your anime fighters, your Street Fighter, your Tekken, and your NetherRealm players. The reason why NetherRealm games are so populated is because they do really well with like casuals.
Well, hold up. Isn't this League Fighter supposed to be like weird though? Like it's not traditional. Like it's traditional, but it's got platform elements almost.
It's like it's supposed to be like the theory is it's gonna be like Rising Thunder. Because the company that made Rising Thunder was bought out by Riot.
I have no idea what Rising Thunder is. But we've talked about it before, and it's the one where it's a button to do your stuff, right? It's not as many like just
it's cooldown special moves.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But I don't think it's gonna be the biggest fighting game. I think it's gonna kinda it'll be big for a bit and then we'll flop.
Really good chance to be the big if the mechanics. Well, they have like good people working on it. They have like Seth Killian on it, like who was like an organizer for Evo for God knows how long. But I think if the game is actually like half decent and like if you're competing with like especially like right now, it's competing with Street Fighter 5, which a lot of people kind of agree is like probably the worst Street Fighter, and Tekken 7 is kind of in a bad spot right now, like compared to how it has been, and people are kind of just playing whatever has good rollback right now. And it's a fucking the guy that made rollback works for Riot, so it's gonna have rollback.
Well, the thing is though too, like I was saying about TFT, I feel like when you make a game that's based off of League, you're gonna scoop up a smaller audience. Just because it's like, oh, it's the League game. Like, oh, this is the League fighting game. And it's like, I don't want to play that. I don't even like League.
I don't
So
think
I feel
fighting
like you
game
don't.
players are like that because a ton of fighting game players who aren't a big fan of Dragon Ball hopped on Dragon Ball Fighters because there was no Marvel game out at the time.
I guess like the big fighting game players, but also fighting games, any game relies off of people being like willing to look at it.
Yeah,
But if I like even if I like fighting games and I see, oh, League of Legends fighting game, I hate League, so why would I look at this fighting game? And I think that's kind of what happened with Valorant too, is people are like, I don't like, so why would I play the league shooter?
I don't
Like
think
I feel like Riot's just kind of in a weird spot.
Which
Yeah.
is, I think,
I do
why
think
they
it's gonna
want to
do well,
change
though.
to Riot games instead of like actual Riot games instead of
Yeah.
just like the League people.
Well, I think it's gonna do good. I think any Riot game's gonna do good. I'm just saying for longevity, you need to have people to look at it. And again, looking at it as the League people, which is what they're known as right now, it's like I don't want to play League fighting game. I don't even like League. Why would I play it?
I think the normie audience, I hate saying that, the more mainstream audience is gonna think what you think, Raven. But I think a lot of people that are like already in, like they play a lot of fighting games. I think they're all gonna try it out.
I agree, but like I think that you're missing the point of what I'm saying. Like you need a mainstream audience to make a game go. Like in order for it to be huge, you need a mainstream audience, right? Like,
but that's the Mortal
reason
Kombat
that
issue, because Mortal Kombat does have a huge mainstream audience, but like no one else outside of Mortal Kombat and Injustice players play NetherRealm games past like the first Evo.
yeah, but we can also look at.
I was just gonna say, like, if you look at like especially like Evo, like Mortal Kombat is at Evo like once. Like whatever new Injustice game is out or NetherRealm game is out is at Evo once, even though the game is out for like 3 years, and the player base is still relatively the same. And it's never a Sunday game; it's always a Saturday game.
But
and that's the best-selling fighting game right now is MK11.
Well, you can also look at it like look at Smash, right? Like Melee's old, the mainstream audience doesn't really care about it.
Yeah.
Ultimate's the new game, so Ultimate's still going crazy, even though like almost everybody who's in the Smash scene agrees that Melee is like really good competitively.
Yeah.
Like still the mainstream audience is on Ultimate, and that's why Ultimate's bigger than Melee is. So I think that's the same thing, is that you still need the mainstream audience. Like even though the mainstream audience loves Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat dies after a year, you still need that to make a game be like as successful. Like just like tournaments and streams don't just automatically make the game successful, if that makes sense.
So
like just judging it by the amount of tournaments doesn't really like.
Okay, that's what I was looking at it for, which I think is a good thing that you clarified. Because I think this game is going to do really well competitively. Like I would not be surprised if the League of Legends fighting game was like the new like headliner at Evo.
Yeah.
Just because like if they're making the game well, and like Riot is going to support their game.
Yeah.
And like that's even like hard for companies to do like right now. Like Nintendo's canceled like 3 Smash Pro circuits. And like the Arc System Works as one got canceled, and like a lot of them aren't even like that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Adam, actually, I'm curious about what you think about the League game, because I know you're pretty deep in the fighting game thing too. What do you think? How well do you think it's going to do?
Yeah, if it's looking speculated to be, I feel like it's League. They're going to try and introduce a cooldown element for moves, for sure. That's kind of a League thing. You see it in Valorant. I don't know if you see it in Runeterra or whatnot. I don't play those games. I get but
wow.
I don't know. It's also interesting. One thing that might draw fighting players will check it out, especially if it's League. It's bound to, or Riot Games is most likely going to be free. So people will definitely check it out. That will definitely aid in more people checking it out. And it depends on what type of characters they bring into it. If they come up with new ones, then I feel like people who mainly play League won't check it out. But if they bring like League characters into it, then League players will check it out. And then the longevity just depends on, on other games release and just if it's a shitty system or not.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's going to come down to like because obviously, like if it releases now, it's gonna have a huge leg up on like on Street Fighter and Tekken because like those games are like aging. Those games are like 4 years old at this point.
Mhm. Yeah.
But then they run the risk of like having the new Street Fighter and Tekken come out and then take their thunder away. But
Yeah, no, that'll definitely hit them hard if that does happen.
I mean, if the new Street Fighter launches as badly as Street Fighter 5 did, that might help them. To be honest,
Mhm.
yeah, like I think that's half the reason Tekken got so big is because Street Fighter 5 had such a dog shit launch.
I was gonna say, no matter what happens with like the popularity of this game in the mainstream audience, this game's gonna make Riot a ton of money because I feel like fighting games are the perfect game. And this sounds bad, but to put more advertising in, and since Riot makes their games free, you can get away with so much bullshit in a free game. You can have like 5-minute unskippable ads in between matches, and people would be like, "Hey, it's free now. I'm just gonna go pee, I guess." You know what I mean? Like if the game's free, you can do whatever you want, and people will be like, "What do you expect? It's a free game." So Riot could make so much money off of this, whether it does well or not.
Yeah, no, advertising is, especially in fighting games, it's free real estate. Like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like
the Red Bull logos. Yep.
Yeah, no, they get Red Bull on there and to support their world tour, and they just create a quote unquote tournament stage and slap the Red Bull logo on.
It's like the same stage, the Red Bull JPEG on the background. Yeah.
I think that's why, like any other game, I feel like it would be weird. Like imagine like you're running around in Valorant and you see a big yellow
I don't know. They had
Red Bull or
Honda
something.
Civic. There was the Honda Civic thing in League, right?
Well, yeah, League is very minor because, like, I saw around Worlds they had like MasterCard banners up, but like,
yep,
you didn't really notice them.
They like sauce them in there a little bit. Like you actually kind of have to look for them.
I straight up did not notice the MasterCard banner.
Yeah,
Exactly,
like it's not noticeable unless you're like looking.
And that's when I was playing too. Like that's when I got back into League. So
well, the thing is, they have to keep it like not distracting, right? And this is probably why they get away with it. Is like, oh, if we change it too much and people like see it a lot, you know, this might decrease the competitive value of the game.
Yeah, and then a lot of people will get really salty.
Exactly, a lot of people get mad and stop playing the game. So like, we have to sprinkle it in there.
Here, that's the image of one of the tournament stages, but where it says Capcom Pro Tour, it just says Red Bull.
Oh,
it's so hot.
I had I don't know if you guys had anything to say about fighting games left, but there was one thing I was going to get into again about a Riot Games game coming out. That might
we're gonna talk about
the RPG.
I was gonna say that's the one thing where I don't actually think it's gonna matter if it has like the League game title on it, is because it's an MMORPG.
Is it an MMO? I thought it was just a regular RPG.
I think it's just single player. Although I think it would be cool if it had.
Sorry.
No, well, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure it's single player. It seems like it is, but especially with the limited roster they're showing off right now. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if they do add some multiplayer element, like you can join up with a few of your friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they might be doing like a Diablo thing where it's like you can play together, but it's not like it's not an MMO.
Yeah, I think that's what Marvel's Avengers did too.
Yeah, well, because I feel like if it's an MMO, you need character customization instead of just like here are a few characters to pick from.
I suppose, but even then, I mean, I guess that works a little bit better. Like, it's if it's an M or fuck. Sorry, I'm tired, so I'm like freaking out. Shit, that was bad. I had a stroke. Okay, if it's an RPG, people are gonna play it. Yeah. Right? Like,
guaranteed. Even if they don't like
way
League.
That does bad.
No, dude, people still watch RuneScape, dude. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
And all they do is chop down trees for 4 hours.
Even if it's League, right? Like, you're not gonna have to know the character or anything.
All it has to do is look cool. Like,
exactly.
All it has to do is look cool.
Let's be honest. If it's Riot, it's probably gonna look cool. I mean, their animations in Legends of Runeterra are awesome. Yeah. And that's a fucking card game. Like, let's be honest. So I think that one actually will work.
The game. That's my only wish, and I think he will be because it looks like it takes place in Bilgewater.
I was gonna say it looks like it makes sense to have Gangplank in the game. I think that this is also a very limited roster that we have so far. Like they're planning to add a lot more characters to the game.
For sure.
You know, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna play it. I'm hoping
Yeah,
to have my PC built that way I can run it on max
You
settings
can
and
actually
just
run
stream it.
I'm actually buying a graphics card tonight, boys.
That's huge.
Yeah, okay.
That's butt cummy.
Yeah.
Bot gummy. Oh man.
I will say we are at our hour. If you guys want to keep going, I'm down, but I have to pee. I'm about to pee myself, so you guys have to do an ad read while I pee. If you want to keep going, otherwise we can just end it.
I had like one more quick topic. If you just want to go to the bathroom, I could just talk about it with them.
Wait, bro, I want to be part of it. Do the
Okay,
ad
fine.
read.
I have something. I
Okay.
have something else to say then.
No, do an ad read, bro.
Yeah, I'll do an ad read.
Okay, do
Okay.
it.
Elevator
So
music.
I was thinking, like, what if they made a fighting game based off of the characters from Where's Waldo?
Where's my water?
What are the characters
That's-
besides Waldo?
Well,
There's
like
the
a
wizard
ton.
guy.
There's like
the
a
dog.
what? There's like
There's
how
the
many
woman
JPEGs
Waldo.
do they do? They have like
got a lot.
200 different JPEG people.
Yeah, but like, and that's the whole point of it. Like, you can't fight them until you find them.
Oh shit!
So it's
also-
like hide and seek, and then you get to play the game.
Yeah.
I realized something. We were talking about different games there when I was talking about the RPG, because there's the Blade of the Rune King or whatever, or the Rune
Yeah.
King. I was talking about the ad they had at the start when they were changing to Riot Games, instead of
Oh, the
just
actual
the
MMO?
lead guy, where they were gonna come out with an MMORPG, and it showed like Blitzcrank jumping around in like
Jumping
a
up
WoW
with the
type.
hook hand?
Yeah. That's because
That'll be
those are
dope too,
different
but
games.
that one's like we don't know anything about that yet.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
what I'm
know
saying.
about that one.
Exactly.
I
So
don't
It's from
think
like
I've
the
ever
check out
read
the
either.
free
reviews.
trailer at him.
Yeah,
It's the same one where they showed the half-second clip of Darius like
of the
up
fighting game.
up throwing
Uppercutting Ari.
Ari. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was originally saying, but I did try and pivot over to the Rune King one. That one looks hype just because I get to play Pike. I mean, you got me.
Yeah, so Ari and Darius are confirmed to
In
be
the
in the League
fighting
fighting game, and
There's no
Shurima
one
is a
else,
confirmed
nothing.
stage. That's all we have.
Yep. If I had to guess that, or if Ari and Darius are in it, I'm gonna have to
Oh.
guess Garen is in it.
What
Yasuo
if,
is for sure in it.
what if they take that and like when they release the League fighting game, like the last DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros will be like one of the fighters. Oh, gross.
Anyway, my last little topic. And we talked about a little bit how a Minecraft a popular blind and fact of is he actually like do the colorblind glasses
George
actually
not
work?
found,
Or is he
baby.
just
Well, it's
okay? Well,
Amazon's like,
yeah, but what if everybody's
Yeah, well,
colorblind?
Well, there's
Well, I will think.
everyone's sees purple, like slightly.
A normal, but only see the and what is that
We know the title for this is Craig's death.
R.I.P. Craig?
Yeah,
R.I.P.
but no, it's like even if like we were told that, we could all agree like. Do we all agree that this is even if like you think it's a cool color and I think it's a warm color? If we're both seeing red the same, I could just agree that it's cool, and then we could go okay, the opposite color on the spectrum because the color spectrum doesn't fucking change.
Well, we don't know if we all see red the same. That's the problem.
But that's what you said. You said in this scenario we do all see red the same.
Not only
Right, and
that,
that's what I'm saying is that if we all see red,
wouldn't
and the same,
know.
we wouldn't know.
yeah,
We don't
this-
even know
It
now.
could be the
We might.
scenario, but we still don't know.
The one
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like if even like hypothetically, we all don't see them the same. If we see them pretty similar, I don't know.
But we still don't know.
Yeah, we
No, we
It's-
can know. Because your
No,
eyes
no,
pick up certain pigments.
Yeah,
And
but
if
the
you like
problem
fucking
is
open up your
friendship.
eyeballs,
Certain Pikmin.
pigments, yeah.
The problem in this situation, right, is
No,
then
that's-
we
you
only
can-
know
you
a
can-
max of 2 colors, right? Because we know red, and then we know the opposite, right? We wouldn't know what the other things on the color wheel are, right? Because your warm definition could be different. I could see blue. As
Yeah,
well.
this might have been true like 200 years ago, but like now we know what makes up each like color of light, and we can like prove that this is the same color that everyone is seeing.
Okay, so all that we have to do is kill everybody on the planet and dissect eyeball.
Yeah.
And we'll know that
But, like,
everyone
okay,
does indeed see.
I'm saying your question would have been plausible like 100 years ago, but now it's like we
It
know
wasn't
that
even my question.
No, but even then, right?
What's
Like,
happening right now?
sorry.
it's fine. But
This is
you're
crazy.
saying that we know that that's not entirely true because like we're just all agreeing, right, that what we're seeing is the
we're
same.
agreeing that
but
it's most likely true.
Well,
yeah, exactly. It's not 100% certain. This is just like, it probably
But
is.
that's what colorblind tests are designed to do.
well, not to mention that that sight and stuff like that are perceived in the brain.
Yep.
Upside down.
Which
True.
means that even if our eyes all had the same pigments, our brains might perceive those pigments differently.
Okay.
God, wait, I just thought of something. So you know how everything we see is upside down and that's reflected into our brain, right? And that's how we
Yeah.
perceive it.
And then you're
What if there's a person right now who's seeing an upside down, but because they were told that they just thought that's how it was?
You know,
Like
That'd
they
be-
see
there probably
see
is.
originally they see everything right side up or like the way we see it now, and then it's actually reversed for them, so everything's upside down, and
Well,
they
that's-
just learn to live with that, and then
Right.
they heard that that's how it was, so they're just like, okay,
right? Well, it wouldn't be hard for them either because like they were born with that, so they already know how to do all of it. So it wouldn't be hard. And the only way that you'd be able to tell is if you waited for them to die and then ripped apart their eyes and saw like, oh, he does not have the same parts.
no. As soon as someone says the concept of up and down, I think no, maybe
yeah,
you'd be
that's the thing. They're gonna think what they
Yeah.
see is up.
If you grew up like that, that's like
true.
that's
true.
what's normal to you.
Right.
That's oh my god, that's nuts. That's if there's
No,
anyone
well,
out
that's
there
a-
like that, I'm sorry.
That's the thing is that like there's a lot of things that like we would never know unless you died and we dissected your body.
Or like spectator mode.
Yeah.
In real life.
You know how crazy that'd be if like there were a ton of people like sitting in the after.
They're just like
And-
watching me play League, and they're like, "Dude, really? This is who I got caught spectating? Like, that's what the fuck, man?"
They're like clicking through all these different streams. This guy moves everything upside down. Everybody, they like send a channel link around. They're like donating.
They're just like, "Oh man, my favorite streamer's asleep right now. Gotta go on to just find
Everybody in the afterlife is messing up their sleep schedule. Watch the VTuber.
Hey, I don't need to be called out. Okay.
Dude, that'd be crazy if that's how it is. Everyone's just like spectating different people. There's some guy like watching Usain Bolt or someone like that practice right now, and they're like, oh, okay, he's just like practicing for his speedrun attempt.
Yeah.
Like that's
Dude.
nuts.
One of my favorite VTubers is streaming Halo this week. I just thought I'd let you all know.
God, of course.
That's L Fortnite dance.
Alright.
This is a theory that is common among some DMT users.
I don't know what that is. Let me look it up.
DMT is released in the brain when you die. Dimethyltryptamine, I think. It's a psychedelic. People extract it from plants and then vaporize it. But anyways, because that's released in your brain when you die, some people are taking that as like that's what happens when you die. So there are some DMT users who just believe that when we die, DMT is released and then we just go into an infinite dream state. And
That's-
pretty much a trip. So then we're just sitting there tripping out for eternity.
Well, yeah,
And that sounds bad, but you're feeling euphoria the entire time. So when you're tripping out, you don't think of it as bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
no.
at what point does the euphoria grow old, right? Because like the adaptability of your mindset, right? Like
Well, I don't
even
think
if
your
you
mindset's
feel
there anymore,
pain
bro.
for long
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say when your brain's rotting, I don't think the adaptability and the boredom muscle is still
Yeah,
intact.
no, this is where I'm saying like at what point is this like soul that adaptability though? Like because if
Yeah.
you feel pain for long enough, this is a little bit different, I guess. This is like nerves.
Yeah.
But if you feel certain pain for long enough, like a crick in the neck, let's
Well,
say,
aren't your
years.
nerves don't change? It's how your brain does it.
Your
Or am I
brain
wrong
does.
about that?
Yeah.
Like when you adapt to pain, it's not your nerves changing, it's your brain changing.
It's like the whole question of like, it's like there's that one oyster that's always in a constant state of orgasm. But like, do you think it's feeling good all the time?
Well, eventually, I think it just wouldn't feel good, right? Because like, well, it wouldn't feel bad, but you wouldn't know what it's like to not feel that. So that's the norm,
Yeah.
right? It's no longer good or like above normal, right? Because that's just what it is now. That's actually a problem with like torture, or that's
Yeah.
how man, this is getting weird, but that's how like effective torture is. Oh, that sounds so edgy. Never mind. I'm just not gonna, I'm not gonna talk about that.
I think we all know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think euphoria, it's kind of like heaven, where it's like you die, you go up to heaven, and your loved ones aren't there. They haven't died yet. But you don't really care because it just feels like great and you're just happy about it.
Just
And it's like
exactly
it's greater than any like happiness or any euphoria you've ever experienced before. So it's just like the greatest sense of like happiness that you can achieve.
Yeah. You have
And
like
so
all
then
like
it doesn't.
weight lifted from you. You have no sense of like
So then when
urgency
your
or anything.
family
Yeah.
comes
No.
home, you're like, yeah, fucking
But I have one last question if it's cool with you guys. Um
before Craig
a
dies again.
song, an album, whatever. What does death sound like? Like
Death
like that
consciousness.
DMT euphoria trip? What does it sound like?
If it doesn't sound like death consciousness, I'm not interested.
That's just sad. What? You want
sad.
that? You want that to? That's what you want to have your death sound like? Is sad when you're
Yeah.
tripping out on DMT the whole time?
Are you more saying like if you had to choose, what do you want it to sound
No,
like?
like when you die and you're on that infinite DMT trip. What do you hear?
Oh,
Like
it
like
sounds,
what
it sounds like
album?
tinnitus. For sure, it sounds like tinnitus.
What album?
As sad as it is, I feel like it's probably just something like elevator music.
You just think it's all.
No, I
The
guarantee it was
elevator
tinnitus.
music. From Endgame.
This world's death race to love.
That's what you
Or
think it sounds like.
No. I was thinking with my elevator music, it probably just sounds like that, like as you're going to wherever. But the thing is, like, you're never.
You never leave
That's
the elevator.
what's that
Yeah,
one
that's-
track what's that one track off Microtonal Banana?
Alright.
You're just listening to Rattlesnake till the end of time.
Listen to 100 books forever.
No,
KDA. I think. I hope. We can only pray that I get
You
to
can only
hear.
pray that God is merciful.
You can only pray that God lets me hear a colleague one last time forever.
All right, Adam.
oh, it's gonna sound like Billabong Valley
Okay.
for sure.
Epic.
Shit. It would probably be Midnight Drive by Young
All right,
Okay.
so you can do the outro.
All right, quick outro because Craig's dying. This has been the Tell I Perish podcast featuring, as you
Craig.
know, Craig. Me, I'm Tegan, official _ Wudong on Twitch.tv. We got Cool Kid 35 _ Don't forget that. It's a little addition at the end on Twitch.tv, as well as Vastiku, my man, my boy, the god of this realm. We're gonna keep making that joke over and over again. It's never not funny.
It's not a
But this
joke,
time
it's a
you said it,
fact.
so it's a different bit. It counts
Is
as
it
a different
the
bit if you
title?
say it.
And then we also have cnut.jpg on twitch.tv. And that's been the Tell I Perish podcast, episode 5.
Ooh.
Do we just wait here until Craig disconnects on his own? Because it's gonna happen.
It's just gonna end abruptly.
Craig gets tortured until he dies. Clickbait.
Bye, Craig.